And it is Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Osel, and there's no car. It's life under quarantine, life under COVID-19. It's Quarantine Con Carne, and tonight it is brought to us by C&H Financial Services. Go to freeprocessingnow.com. If you own a business, if you're looking for a way to not have to worry about fees on credit and debit cards, this is the solution. C&H Financial Services. Freeprocessingnow.com is where you go for that. I should also mention before we begin, fantastic new Car Con Carne merchandise available on carconcarne.com. Click on new merch right on the top of the page. You can get your hands on the limited edition Quarantine Con Carne t-shirts and the standard appropriate in all situations Car Con Carne t-shirt.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
My guest tonight, she is haunting, she is driving, she is otherworldly, she is ultimately danceable. She is Fee Lion. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm so great. Thank you for having me.
Chicago musician, Chicago artist, really.
Yeah.
First question out of the gate is an obvious one. How are you holding up?
I'm good. Surprisingly, I feel like this is a really good time to just sort of take a step back and reevaluate, take some rest, but also kind of like make plans on how to keep existing and making music in this time. So that's exactly what I've been doing.
Yeah, one common question I've been asking artists is,
Yeah.
Is this a creatively fertile time for you, being quarantined, stuck at home, or is it more about self-care and just kind of figuring out everything else besides the artistic stuff?
Yeah, for me, I think this first like sort of initial part of it has really been about self-care. Previous to the quarantine, I was feeling a bit like overworked, sort of, exciting things were happening definitely, but this has been a really good time to sort of take some rest.
I got it. And
Yeah.
you were able to squeeze a show in before everything completely fell apart.
Yeah. I had started my tour, which was supposed to go all the way down to Texas for South by Southwest. So yeah, we had a Chicago show, a Detroit show, and a Minneapolis show.
I want to talk about fashion, which I have no business talking about in any forum whatsoever. I've worn the same hoodie, I think, 5 nights in a row.
Yeah, same. It's fine.
But if it weren't a quarantine, that would also be true. So that's the real concern. Fee Lion, there you have a look. I mean, you certainly have a style. You have an image.
Yeah.
How important is that to the overall Fee Lion package?
Extremely important. I think it's, it's really a close tie. The music and the visual is interlinked for me, because it is just me on stage pretty much all of the time. It's really important for me to feel strong, powerful, and sort of like, I don't know, in tune with what's on my body and how it feels. So,
and when in doubt, go with latex.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing I like about latex and vinyl and any of the more like shapely pieces that I wear is that they're so strange and sort of otherworldly, yet I relate to them. I relate to the uniqueness and like strange, visual experience of them. And I think that sort of ties in with my music as well, which sort of lives in like an ethereal, dark, landscape in itself. So it's really everything for me. Yeah, and it also comes just naturally. Like these are naturally styles and shapes and textures that I'm attracted to, and it fits.
When I saw you in the inflatable latex dress,
Yeah.
I thought, well, no one else is doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that was fun. And it's sort of exciting to me because I don't really have anybody on stage to interact with. So the garment itself becomes sort of like, a play buddy on stage for me to experience and for me to have fun with and sort of, perform with.
As your stage presence and just as you grow, would you ever think about fleshing out what you do on stage with other people? Do you entrust people enough to play with your music?
I've thought about it. I think if the right opportunity presents itself, I would be open to that. For now, I think I'm still experimenting with ways to deliver a big sound by myself.
Sure.
Um, Making electronic music is honestly still so foreign to me. And I feel like even though I have learned a lot in that aspect, there's still so much that I have to learn to do the things that I, envision in my head. So my personal journey of playing and performing electronic music is, I think, just at the start. So, maybe once I'm further along, I'll be more willing to, invite performers and musicians to join.
Got it. I want to thank Eric and Billy for watching. Also, Susan, Maxton, John, and Nicole, all for watching on Facebook Live. Thank you for doing that.
Hey, guys.
You talked about technology. You manipulate technology to create these dark and very dramatic songs.
Mhm.
Do you think visually as you create music? Because I hear soundscapes. I hear the score to a very dark life when I listen to your music.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think visually as you create?
Yeah, I do. And every song is different also. Sometimes, a song will start for me from just a little sound that I hear in my head, and other times it comes from a word or two that I hear on the street that I'm like, oh, I relate to that. That sounds like a story to me. But as I'm making music, sort of without even trying too hard, a story starts to form for me, and kind of like to go with it and sort of like score the film that's happening in my head.
You like the dystopian stuff. You like the dark
Yeah.
stuff. Do you put it all out there in music, and is your downtime just spent watching Disney Plus because your music is that kind of like dark catharsis? You're just watching like Mulan.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had Disney Plus. Yeah, I mean, I think that on the daily basis, like, I mean, especially now in quarantine, I haven't really been creating as much, at least as much like new content in that sort of world. I think it is important for me to have a balance of like something that isn't dark and like emotional and moody, and so I try to stay centered in my daily life. And it's kind of funny because now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, it's not Disney Plus for me, but it is Canyon Flute like music. So if that says anything to you at all, that's sort of how my daily soundscape sounds like.
Fair enough. Let's talk a little bit about Baby.
Oh yeah, Baby was the last single that I released before quarantine. Also released a music video for that. Yeah, what do you want to know?
Oh, it gets dark really quick, and this song, I really enjoy this because there's a mounting intensity
Mhm.
to it. Where did this come from emotionally when you wrote it?
Well, I was writing it, and sort of just like I said, this story came to my head about a stalker. And I think this is something that we can all relate to in the age of, the swipe and the telephone and like being able to just get access to anything you want so quickly. I think that allows this sort of obsession to happen. And, I've experienced it before. And I think everybody's experienced it before, where
Sure.
you're curious about like what so and so is doing, and you're curiouser and curiouser, so you just keep kind of like feeding that obsession. And so I guess when I was writing that song, I started to think about the obsession of a lover, and like how love can be extremely obsessive as well. And yeah, ended up taking that to the extreme and exploring the life of a stalker who, you know, is just so desperate to find her lover. And, you know, the rest is explained in the music video.
And then the remix EP was at the end of last year, right? I think I described the Heaven remix as ethereal, pulsating, seductive, and seedy.
Those are perfect.
All good characteristics of a song.
Yeah, I like seedy. I like that one.
Seedy's a good one. Seedy feels more Chicago than anything.
Yeah.
Little Chicago grit.
Yeah. Those remixes, those turned out great. That was my first like remix, you know, endeavor, and I could not be happier with the way they turned out. And Blood Sisters, the EP itself, just turned 1 this month. It's crazy.
And I love the title track of that one. My Man is an epic song.
Thank you. It's so funny. Like, you truly never know how the crowd will respond to what you're making in the studio. And that song, My Man, it just took me sort of forever to get it somewhere to a place that I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is done. But it went through so many iterations, and then finally it turned into this like 8-minute sort of mega mix of a track. And, you know, obviously we all have our favorites, and My Man was my least favorite. I was almost like, oh, I don't know if we can put it out. Like, I just don't know if it needs another like revision. But the response was great. So, you know, I'll let the fans decide.
Absolutely. Can you recommend a movie or a book for us to pay attention to while we're in quarantine?
Oh, wow. A movie. What did I see? Wow, this is crazy. I feel like on the spot. I just watched so I watched Blade Runner.
That seems so appropriate coming from you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like cliche. I'm like, watch Blade Runner. But
speaking of dystopia.
Yeah, but I will say, you know, I think it's really important to watch both of those films. The old one with Harrison Ford, and then the new one with Ryan Gosling. They're so amazing. I think just timeless. And I will say that watching the newer Blade Runner, you know, I had seen it already, and I was like, I didn't like it. And then rewatching it, I was able to sort of, I guess, relate to it more, since we're going through kind of, you know, something similar.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. Blade Runner is always great. Always great.
So if people want to support you in this downtime when no one's going out, what's the best way to do it? Is it Bandcamp? Is it your website?
Yeah, everything. I mean, I have some merch on Bandcamp that is there. There'll be a t-shirt rollout that I think I'll be doing in the next month or so. But you know, Spotify actually launched this new thing where directly from this my Spotify streaming page, you can donate straight to my Cash App. So it's like,
wow, yeah,
it's like a COVID support fund through Spotify. So that's available. Venmo, PayPal. I mean, I've got it all.
Cool. All right. So you are a feline. Thank you for doing this tonight. And at some point, we'll look to you bringing that solo, mind-blowing experience to a Chicago stage again.
Yes, please. I look forward to it. I miss it.
Well, thank you for doing this. And I'm going to kill the Facebook Live. Thank you, everybody, for watching there.
Thank you so much.